So in my last video, or the last couple of videos that I made, someone asked me, or they told me that they're struggling with their pole work. And I've done so many pole work videos, and I've probably done a video very similar to what I'm going to do right now. But I think it's the easiest way of learning how to navigate and work very well with a pole. Now, I'm not using a pole, I'm just using a bog standard broom handle. So you don't need the best or the most expensive poles. You don't need the best and most expensive cloths, because if you do the things that I tell you to do, you'll only be using cloths to mop up on the frames. You don't need top quality cloths, you just need old cloths from you can pick up from any customer who doesn't want their tea kettle towels and stuff like that. So I don't pay for any of my cloths. What you do need is a mind where you want to learn. You need the best performing squeegee. You need a soapy added to the washer, saturated washer, and just need a bit of patience. And you need to not listen and do what a lot of these other window cleaners tell you to do. So I watched a video, Friday, when I finished work, and it was just a recommendation video. It was about plastering, and I watched this guy fix a hole in a wall. Now, to me, if that was my house, I'd think, well, this is devastating. I've got this hole in the wall. How am I gonna fit it? How am I gonna fix it? Well, this guy fixed it within 30 minutes. He had the right, obviously, ingredients, tools, expertise, and he was teaching other plasterers how to do this job in like literally less than an hour. And the finished job, apart from actually getting it painted because it needed to dry, it was seamless. But you don't get this sort of seamless information from window cleaners on YouTube, because they have this thing where it's like a reprobate mind. You cannot teach people with huge egos how to stop being or working like they do. And they don't teach you any. Very few window cleaners will teach you anything worth listening to, because they're just hopeless at their work. They're worse than useless. Now, the guy who asked me about I'm struggling with the pole work, I'm guessing he's from America, because at least American window cleaners, they try to use squeegees in their work, whereas UK window cleaners these days, they don't even try. They don't even bother, because they've got the water-fed pole, and that does pretty much all of their work. So if you're watching window cleaning videos from either camps, you're either going to learn really bad performing window cleaning techniques with squeegees, or you're going to learn from window cleaners that don't even use squeegees. So this is the difference between window cleaning and other trades such as plastering. There is no masters in window cleaning. Very few masters that I've come across, and every master starts as a disaster. But most people just stick at being a disaster. So I'm going to use this bog standard pole here. You don't need the best performing pole, but you just need a window that is kind of like height level, where your head and body is, because we're not doing anything that is high, because this translates into you doing high work. So all you need is a saturated washer, put soap, just dish soap, don't need any professional soap. And first of all, once you've soaped up your window, because we're not going to do anything that these window cleaners teach you on YouTube, you're going to flip it over and you're just going to feel it, right? Just move it around, but then you're going to stop, and then you're going to turn and you're just going to feel it, and you're just going to, that feels a bit strange, because I like to work this way, but you need to work both ways, because you need to do things that these awful performing window cleaners on YouTube and across the world don't do what they do. So just feel the difference, and because you've probably not got too many bad habits ingrained, because you're just probably starting out, you don't need to fix anything. All you need to do is improve on feeling confident of using a pole both sides. We're not doing anything extraordinary. All we're doing is we go in here and then we go in here. Just get that nice action. That's all we're doing. This is the steering, so your bottom hand will be your steering. Doesn't matter if it's high or if it's low or if it's head height. It's the same, right? You need a squeegee that obviously is going to be smaller and a big window to work on, because this is how you're going to get your positioning, right? So just get used to wetting the window. Don't need to do the whole window, because all we're doing is just feeling. This is the pressure hand, and now this is the pressure hand. Just do this, right? And then all of a sudden it feels like feels the same. Still feels awkward because I'm not used to using a pole, but it don't feel as awkward as I once thought. And if I tried to do this to a window cleaner that has many bad habits, because all they've been doing for the last 10, 15, 20 years is working longer, harder, slower, get less results, because they've ingrained in their mind and in their actions and in their egos most of the time, it's very difficult to untrain bad habits. But if you haven't got any bad habits, you just crap at your job because you're just first starting out. I was crap, but I knew I was crap and I wanted to do something about it. But very soon, it only took me a few weeks to learn that all the tools that I was using, all the squeegee tools, were hopeless. It took me a few weeks, once I knew how to get onto the right track, to realise that all the tools out there were useless. So this came into being. It's the best performing squeegee. You don't have to be the best performing window cleaner from the get-go, but within a couple of weeks you'll be the best performing window cleaner, because you'll be doing things that everybody else doesn't do, and that's not work like everyone else. So have a soapy wet washer, get used to flicking it over, have a feel both sides of the stick, whatever stick you're using. So you don't need the best performing pole. You do need the best performing soap solution. You do need a wet soap solution, and then you need to use the best performing tool. You can use other tools, but this is the best, and you want to be the best within a few weeks, right? So, and being the best is the easiest thing I ever did. All I've got to do is don't do what everybody else does. You soon become the best when you don't do that. So let's now soap up the whole window. Now we're gonna put this tool purposely in the right place at the right time. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to follow this edge here, and I'm just going to come down here, and I'm going to, well, why not, just change the stance on the pole, come over here and come down here. So all I've done right now is take out both sides, but I've took my tool off the pane. And I should have said that because I'm using a straight pole here, I've got my squeegee angled in 10 degrees. That's okay, or you could use it in -5. That's okay. Don't need any other angles, right? Let's keep it in -5. So now I've done this edge here. Now I can just navigate and fix all the stuff that I haven't got off the glass. And I've got all this space to maneuver as long as that soap solution is wet. Can you see how many runs I've got here? Yeah, it's runny like a runny egg, right? I've got all that control. And none of this soap is a professional soap, right? So let's just soap this up again. Let's now swap the hand over, stance over. I'm just now putting the tool in the right place at the right time, and all I'm doing is twisting here and having pressure here, twisting here and having pressure here. That's all I'm doing. That's all you need to do, and you've got all that space to maneuver, but you don't have to be a good window cleaner to fix all the solution. Just as long as you've got a decent rubber, and if you're using a new tool, it will be a decent rubber, as in sharp, no snags and problems at the edges where you've run out, right? So all I'm doing is going over the middle part of the window, and that's the easiest part of cleaning the window on a pole. And all I'm doing is steering here. If your rubber's not been buffed up, it's going to be working as it should. After a few days or hours of working on a window, especially if it's a bad quality window, you will need to probably swap your rubber over other side of the rubber, and then maybe change the rubber afterwards. So the easiest part of doing this window is the middle part, because I'm not buffing up anything against anything, and it's just nice and smooth. It feels like I'm working on ice, ball bearings on ice. Feel how smooth that is. You don't get that sort of smoothness when you add your soap. Doesn't matter what soap it is, to your bucket of water, right? So you add the soap directly to a wet saturated washer. So when you come down to the bottom here, think of it like you're flying a plane, right? Now you've got to land that plane. Now I like to land my plane anywhere in this region, not here and not here. I do not need, this is friction here, I do not need an extra friction here to mess up my closeout, because I want a perfect closeout. So far I've got zero detail, zero mistake, which you don't see on YouTube videos, and I've got zero detail, zero mistake in the middle here. So all I need to do is perfect my landing of my tool. Think of it as you're landing on a runway, you want a nice smooth landing. So I'm now navigating closer to the corners and the edges, and I'm going to now land my squeegee. I'm taking all that solution off the glass. You don't get that from a wagtail, you don't get that from a sawbow. You can't navigate with a sawbow. All you can do is straight pulls, and pretty much all the other tools out there, they're just useless, right? They're worse than useless, they're hopeless. Like window cleaners, hopeless. If you've got a reprobate mind, cannot teach anyone anything. Drop your ego, know that you're not as good as you think you are, and this is why teaching a complete beginner is the easiest thing. And within 5 minutes, they're working better than any window cleaner you see pretty much all over YouTube, right? So this is how pathetic window cleaning industry is. It's full of rubbish workers, right? Full of egos, full of idiots, right? So I'm now gonna come down, so where I know my squeegee length is long enough for me to take that last swipe off. Yeah, I've got to use all my tool here length to finish off, right? Once I can feel and think, okay, I'm at a point now where I can do the last swipe, I'm now going to tilt my squeegee and then close out, but away from them corners. So now I've got zero detail, zero mistake. Literally there's nothing there on the glass, only on the bottom part, right? So this is the easiest way I've found to teach window cleaners. Nothing up high, nothing too low, just right in front of you. Obviously use a stick better than this, but you don't need to. You don't want to throw loads of money at something before you become pretty much an expert, and you can become an expert within less than a week, as long as you listen to the right information and do the right things, not the wrong things. It's simple. This is the steering, this is the pressure, and then now this is the steering, this is the pressure. It feels awkward, but very soon it feels normal. So this feels just as normal as this. I'll tell you what happened to my granddad. He lost his eye when he was young. He had a glass eye and he was right-handed. But because I can't remember which eye it was, probably his left one, because he was unable to really see what he was writing at school, he started writing with his left hand because he could see what he was writing. So then his left hand became his writing hand. The more he used it, the better it become. But because window cleaners, just watch any window cleaner on YouTube, because they have all these sort of bad habits, they just become ingrained. And all they can teach you, there's one or two window cleaners that I would say is worth listening to. The rest is complete and utter rubbish, because all they're teaching you is to be as good as those guys are, and they're rubbish. They're absolutely hideous. And it's not egotistical to say I'm better than them, and it's not egotistical to you to think within a few days I'll be better than them, because they are like the lowest standard benchmark to cross over. It's simple. Just don't use the tools that they use, don't use their methods, don't use anything. Just use them as a guide, as to think, I don't want to work like those guys. I can't think of any other industry that have such lousy workers in. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Watch any other trade video and you'll see experts. Watch any window cleaning video and you see utter hopelessness. But they're just window cleaners. It's not classed as a trade. So yeah, I'm not in a trade. I'm just on the same level as everybody else as a window cleaner. But you don't have to be on their level. You can be the best. Being the best is as easy as clicking your fingers.